Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Previously, we used Power Automate to get Microsoft Planner into Power BI. In today's session or video, we're going to try to do something a bit different, but still going to use Power Automate. The case being, to use Power Automate to help approve a travel request. In today's Power Automate session, we're going to use three major components. The first being Microsoft Form, second thing being SharePoint list, and the third thing is the approval workflow. So without further ado, let's get it started. So if you use Microsoft Form to submit for a trial request, you need a trigger from Microsoft Form. So as you can see here, I've created a Microsoft, Power Automate with the trigger being when a new response is submitted. Do bear in mind that the Microsoft Form that I'm using is this Microsoft Form. So I've actually created it beforehand. So the try request form has those details where, if you submit the try request form, the details like, trip title, destination, and so on. So I've created that for your convenience. And in today's session, we're going to try to use the new designer to help build the flow. Now, first, because it is, because it is submitted through Microsoft Form, we'll need a trigger from Microsoft Form. And this being the when a new response is submitted. The form ID is the form that I've created. So if you have a different name, then you select the form that you created to use it as a trigger. So in this case, I name it as trial request form. I will select this. You bear in mind also as well that this is an automated cloud flow. It's not a scheduled cloud flow or an instant cloud flow. Next one. So once we have, when a response is submitted, we need to get the response details. So we need to find an action to get the response details. Okay, the form ID is the form that created the unique response ID is when a new response is submitted from or the response ID. So once we have the information, we'll need to create the item in SharePoint list. Do bear in mind, if you do not want your data or the response details to be stored in SharePoint list, you can skip this step. But for this sharing session, I will use it to store in SharePoint list. Reason being, it could be used as a versioning control or backup, or if you want put it in a centralized location for reporting purpose, you can use the SharePoint list to do so. Now we need to create the item in SharePoint list. So to do so, add an action, create an item, create the item. Then we need to find the group or the site address. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be in here, so we need to manually enter. Okay, use it as a custom value. We're going to remove to here until the grouping. And then it should pop up the SharePoint list, and here it goes. Okay, I'm going to show all. Now, when we create the item in SharePoint list, we need the details from the form to map exactly to the fields in SharePoint list. So I'm going to map this. It should take a while, so bear with me. And the details that we're going to take is from the get response details. So title, for travel. There's cluster claims. gonna select responders email assigned to the person who will approve it. Approver, destination. As the default, the status will be pending. Travel start date, travel end date, airline. Which airline we're going to choose? Is it Alaskan Air, Japan Airlines? Estimated airfares. As you can see here, the numeric values, it doesn't show up here. So I'll fill this out first, and later I'll explain how can we get the numeric values and enter inside. We have to use a compose action to do so. So I'll show you later. So I'll just quickly fill out the rest first. Hotel, where's hotel? Okay. Same goes for the hotel cost, because it doesn't show up the numeric values. The approval commands, I'm just going to leave it for now because they'll be used on a later stage for the approver typing their comments. Okay. Now, when you get the numeric values, to do so, when you add an action to the compose action, you get the numeric values. So click on compose inputs. Still going to get from the get response details. Estimated airfare. Okay, I'm going to name this as the airfare. Okay. And we need to get the hotel fare as well. So we need another compose action. Get the value. Hotel. Get response details as well. Hotel cost, yes. So now we have a complete action to create an item in SharePoint list. So this is, this hasn't included, how to include the attachment inside. But for now, in this demonstration purpose, I'm going to show you how it works. And let's see if it works. Okay, I'm just going to quickly fill this out. This business trip. Oh man. Apologies, guys. Sometimes these things is quite annoying having to keep plugging in. Business trip, destination to Saigon, for example. Recent travel site, progress monitoring. Sorry. Vancouver. I'm going to choose Vancouver. As you can, make it more beautiful. But for this demonstration, I put it as basic as possible to show you guys how it works. Let's say the travel is from 18 to 22. I'm going to use Japanese airline. Estimated airfare $133. Hotel $132, for example. Oh, sorry, hotel. Yeah, hotel $150. And upload attachments. I'm going to choose different file format of attachment to show you how we're going to capture the attachment and update into the SharePoint list, and how it will look like at the end stage. So if you still remember, we still haven't worked on the attachment workflow to capture all the attachment details. So now I'm going to click on submit. Oops, sorry. I think I may have forgotten to click on test. But no worries. We can try to do it again. Just bear with me. Destination. Until 22nd. Let's choose Emirates this time. To region C. Colors. Okay, now let's see if it works. This was created just now. Hey, so we can see the flow ran successfully. So how it will look like? Let's refresh it real quick. As you can see here, it's now created with the details. Okay. Okay. There's a bit of an issue right here. So it didn't capture the estimated hotel fares. And of course, the attachment, as you can see here, if there's attachment, it'll show as a clip. If there's no attachment recorded, it'll show as no clip. So we need to work on this. So FM, okay, tell recorded. So what went wrong? Now let's see what went wrong. I didn't include it into the field. So FL, I need to include the outputs from the compose effect for hotel. I'll take the outputs from the hotel compose action. Now I save it. And if I remove this and trigger it automatically, it should record it now. And let's refresh this real quick. And here you go. It's now recorded. Great. The next step is that we'll need to capture the attachment details from the Microsoft form and include it inside the SharePoint list. So to do so, we need to use a control function applied to each. This is to cycle out, for every action, capture one, capture all the attachment. And to do so, because currently in Power Domain, the add attachment is a singular. It doesn't add attachments, so you can only add one attachment at a time. So to circumvent it, we need to create an array of the attachments and include it as one go in the add attachment flow to add into SharePoint list. So I'll show you how it works. Okay. Now we need to create JSON. Okay. JSON to capture the array of the attachments. So once we created this, the bracket in middle of the bracket, we'll click on dynamic content. Get response details, and then attachments. Click on attachments. Then we'll add this. Okay. The next one is that we need to get the file content. So because Microsoft Form is naturally stored in OneDrive, we need to get the file content from the OneDrive. So if I type get file content, OneDrive should have it. OneDrive for business, correct? So get file content, the unique identifier. So when you get a unique identifier, so in this step, you'll capture all the attachment details, including the name of the files, the link to the file, the name of the file, the ID to the file. So we need to customize to capture the ID on the apply to each process. So item, we get the item. Okay, question mark and bracket ID. Okay, now get the ID from apply to each. Next one can now add attachment into SharePoint. So we should find a SharePoint add attachment. Site address actually doesn't appear, so I'll need to do it manually again. My bad. So we need to add it manually again. Custom value. Site address, find the SharePoint list. ID, we get it from create item because we want to map the attachment to the SharePoint list that we created earlier, the item that we created in SharePoint list. So the file name, we need to use a custom function as well. So same as the ID in the get file content, the item, question mark, bracket, name, file content, we're going to get it from the get file content. And we'll save it and test it now. So just to show you, here it's showing as no attachment. If there's attachment, if you click here, there'll be attachments involved here. And if there's no attachment, it shows as no paperclip. So remove this, test it. I'm going to use the automatic test flow. So we'll be using the same submitted data as previously submitted. So test it. Okay, so it did capture correctly. So it runs through the cycle again and capture 3 attachments inside. So let's see if it really did capture inside SharePoint list. We open back SharePoint list and refresh it. There you go. The 3 items, and yep, all 3 items are now inside. Going back. Now we need to, create an approval workflow now. We need to get approval flow and send it to the approver for further action, for him or her to review it and action to either approve or reject it. But I'm going to do something a bit different because I want the approver to be able to click into the the approver card and able to get the attachment from there instead of clicking it and bring it to another page. So to do so, I'll need to initialize a variable. This is also to create an array, create an array where all the attachments are grouped in one table and able to understand by workflow, the approval workflow, there is an attachment that can be opened. Okay, so I'm going to find initialize variable. Initialize variable right here. I'm going to name the variable as attachment, approval attachment. And I'm going to select the array because I want to make it into a table. Next, I will get the attachment from the SharePoint list. I'll get attachment. Get attachments. Again, I'll have to manually enter it. Okay, choose the list name, the ID. So I'm going to get it from the create. I don't want the ID that I created earlier in SharePoint is to be used in this function. So ID, get attachment. Next, I will use the get attachment content because I want to get the content inside inside the attachment or in the table itself. So get attachment content. Okay, same thing again. We're going to have to remove this to the SharePoint group name and select the SharePoint list. For the ID, we're going to get ID. We're going to get from the create item ID. And then the file identifier, we're going to get it from the get attachments ID. Okay. So next one, we need to append to array variable. We append all those attachments to a table format where it can be read by the approvals. So append to array. Okay, so this is where we got our initialized variable. The name we got it from the initialized variable. It's the one that we created. Now over here we need to enter the array. Okay, so what we can do is this is okay. This is the array format. Okay. Inside the get attachment content, there'll be a name and a content itself. Okay, so we need to map it exactly in order for the approval workflow to capture it and identify it as an attachment to open it. So the first one is name, and I'm gonna get it from display name. Get attachments, and the content. I'm gonna get it from the get file content, the attachment content. Okay, so now we have the array variable, the valid JSON. Oh, apologies. We need to put a comma. Okay, now it should work. Next one. Now we can use the approval function. I'm going to choose start and wait for an approval. So the reason I choose this is that I want, wait until you approve the action. If not, it's going to keep running from there. It'll only be, it'll only proceed for further action once the approver has taken action. So further, because for now there's only one person to approve it, so I'm going to choose the first respond. You can also choose wait for all responses. If you have multiple approvers, and if everyone must approve, then you can choose this as well. Now, first to respond, the title of the approval I'm going to get from the get response details. What is the request title? So the title assigned to you can get it from create item, or you can get it from get response details. Then now I think I would just choose it from create item. Title assigned to details. I'm gonna be shortcut a bit here. So details you can put in, how you can structure your sentences. You can, put it here. So dear assigned to, this is where I'll just remove this for your convenience and show you how to do it. Okay. Dear item. So the approver name, I want to assign to the approver. So dear Wu and Wu. So assign to display name. Okay, travel request details. Item. Reason for travel. Employee name. The person who submitted this. Who is the name? So I'm going to choose request the display name. Destination. Straightforward as well. That's destination. Okay. Travel dates start and end. So when you start and end, start date, travel start date. For this, I think I would put a dash there. That's from and to. Travel end date. Purpose of the trip. I think I mixed around with this and this, so I'm just going to put that first. Purpose of trip. Travel plus details. And for now, I'm going to put. And for now, I'm just going to remove this. It's probably a bit redundant. Oh, the travel amount. So we know that there's the hotel and the airfare. So I'll need to create a function in order to sum it up. Just so click here. Of course, you can skip this if you want to. If not, then you want to combine the travel amount, you can do so over here. So add functions, add bracket. Okay, then we'll go to dynamic content. Select the hotel and airfare value. Estimated airfare and estimated hotel cost. Add it over here. So now we have a bit of structure over here. Item link. If the approver wants to look into SharePoint, they can do so as well. Link to the item in SharePoint. open to view request. If they want it so it doesn't show as a full URL or they show as open to view request, they can just click onto it. Enable notifications, yes. Enable reassignment, yeah. If they want to reassign, you can do so as well. And if you want to for the person who generate this request, can do so. I'll just put the requested email, and then the attachment. Yeah. So the attachment is we need to get it from here, the append to array variable. So we can't be using this because this is only for singular attachment. So if you use this, then you only get one attachment, but you need to get the full attachment. And to do so, we need to get the append to array variable. Attachment. Okay. Now, before proceeding further, just test this out. Remove this. Okay, let's test it out. Okay, so far it's successful. Initialize variable, getting the attachment content. And now we'll create just created a workflow for me to approve it. So you can see here, this is how it would look like. This is strip, dear who and who, all the information. So it's adding up the value, so it's correct. And you can see here, if you want to see the full attachment, click here, and now you can see it retains its format. And now you can click here and open the attachment straight away instead of clicking here, going to SharePoint, open it, and you can see the the flow of what's the current status, where it is right now, who is it parked under with right now. No, now if I click any of this, it won't do anything. You can reassign, but if I want to click reject or approve, or I want to type in my comments, it won't record back to the SharePoint list. Let's say if I click approve it, and if we go back to our SharePoint list, so we can see the action is completed. And refresh this. It's still showing as pending. Okay. To do so, we need to get the response details. Okay. Get the response details. We need to add a condition. So the condition is in the control section. And then start with if the outcome of the approval is approved, then we want to update the item. We want to update the SharePoint list that is being approved. So update item. We have to, oops, sorry, my bad. We have to type in the link to this site, to the SharePoint site. Again, SharePoint list. The identifiers. So I'm going to use the create item ID. We don't need to change anything. just that when you change this to approve, and if there's any approval comments, then we'll need to get the approval comments. So it'll be responses comments. Now, since it's been approved, we need to let the submitter know that their trial request has been approved. So to do this, you can use an email, send an email to notify them. But I'm going to use the Teams to notify them. So post message in the chat or channel, Flowbot, post in chat with Flowbot. It should pop out the recipient who submitted. So I'm going to get it from here. I'm going to send it to the response submitter to notify them. Okay, for the message, I'm going to use this. That person requested the display name. Hi, Joseph. Okay, this will notify you that your request for so we need to get the request title has been approved on. This one can get it from this time wait for an approval. So it will be the completion date of the action. Okay. Now we have it. This is for now if it's approved. Okay. If it's not approved, so there's only two actions that can be taken, it's either approve or reject. As you can see just now from the workflow earlier. So we need another condition. So if the outcome is equals to reject, then we need to update the SharePoint list, which is update. Copy this again, site, the ID. So I will use the create item ID. Okay, there are only two things that we need to update, and that is the request status value. I'll change it to reject because we are rejecting it and we're not approving it. Approval comments, same thing. Get it from the start and wait for an approval. Response commands. Okay, so we're done for the update item for reject. Now we notify the submitter that their request has been rejected. And probably they need to search for another place to travel. Okay. Post message. Something. About telephone. And the recipient would be the requested email. And I will just shortcut it as well on what to put in the message. You can always put message if mine is not and mine doesn't look very professional, so you can always put in your own version of message in there. So hi, request the display name. This notified that your request for whatever they submit was rejected on date of the rejection. So let me get it from completion date as well. Due to what reason? So the reason we can get it from the comments of the approver. Thank you. Okay. Save it for now. As you can see here, this is the whole process. I know it seems a lot, but trust me, it's not that hard once you get the hang of this. Okay, let me just remove this real quick. See if it works. Oh, please, hopefully it works. Just come on. Test it. So it's getting response details. Now we need to get the numeric values and then create the item, apply to each, get the file content to be able to update in the SharePoint list, create a table, get the attachments, get the content of the attachments, and then start the approval process. Okay, as you can see there, this process won't start until I select certain action on it. So I go here, it should pop up now. Let's say I approve it. Okay, to proceed. Have fun. So you can see, we'll approve it. So if it approves, it goes to this section. If it's rejected, it'll go to this section. Let's see, change to approve. Just refresh this. Now it works. Now you gotta record it. Google workflow. So there you go, guys. I hope this video has been great help to you if you're keen to explore on approval workflows and to use Microsoft Forms as the initiator basis and to use SharePoint list as a place of storage for your versioning or other things that you might think of. Well, guys, thank you for joining me today as we explore the fascinating world of Power Automate approval workflows. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Hey, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to my channel. We dive deep into all things tech, productivity, and automation. By subscribing, you stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and tutorials. Just click that subscribe button below. It's free, and it makes a huge difference to me. Hopefully, you learned something new today. So share your thoughts in the comment section. I love to hear about your experiences with Power Automate or any questions you might have. Let's keep the conversations going. Lastly, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And hey, sharing is caring. So feel free to share this video with your colleagues, friends, or anyone who might benefit from it. Remember, automation is the future, as it is now. And Power Automate is your trusty sidekick. Keep exploring, keep automating, and keep rocking those workflows. Thank you. Until then, see you next time. Goodbye.